the number 10. It is from this number, 10, or creative nature, the mother, the occult cipher, or zero, ever procreating and multiplying in union with the unit 1, or the spirit of life, that the whole universe proceeds. The secret doctrine, Blavatsky I, 121, the ineffable Sephiroth are 10, so are the numbers, 10 and not 9, 10 and not 11. Understand this wisdom and be wise in the perception. Sefer Yetzirah 15. Number 10 is the number of completion or perfection through completion, the assembling of the completed parts. It is the grand summit of numbers and their completion. It is the number which expresses the completion of creation, as mentioned in Genesis chapter 1, verse 31. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. In 10, the O is no longer a chaos of undifferentiated matter, nor a mass of leftovers from a past world period awaiting the outpouring of the divine creative force of the one life to start it into evolution, but has now expressed itself in the perfection of nature and man. Man, now become the initiate, has grasped the rod of power, number 1, and separated it from the overshadowing O of number 9, and having identified himself with the one life, stands at the right hand of the now manifested forces of the Q, ready in his turn to become the creator or director of the forces which are to be manifested during the succeeding cycle. The initiated man now stands as a responsible co-worker with the divine. It is as though during the cycle of 1 to 10, God had held the hand of his child and guided it in carving the statue or model of the man to be the initiate. But now the chisel is left in the hand of the matured youth, and he must create from the materials given him in the beginning the perfect statue whose ideal was set before him by the master sculptor. While the word decad comes from the Greek word deca, meaning 10, it was applied by the Pythagoreans to the quaternary, an elementary number denoting a factor of the cosmos. And since 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 10, the word is correctly used in that connection. This decad, representing the universe and its evolution out of silence and the unknown depths of the spiritual soul, or anima mundi, presented two sides or aspects to the student. It could be and was at first applied to the macrocosm, after which it descended to the microcosm, or man. There was then the purely intellectual and metaphysical, or the inner science, and there as purely materialistic or surface science, both of which could be expounded by and contained in the decady. It could be studied, in short, both by the deductive method of Plato and the inductive method of Aristotle. The former started from a divine comprehension when the plurality proceeded from unity, or the digits of the decad appeared, only to be finally reabsorbed, lost in the infinite circle. The latter depended on sensuous perception alone, when the decad could be regarded either as the unity that multiplies or matter which differentiates, its study being limited to the plane surface, to the cross, or the 7 which proceeds from the 10, or the perfect number, on earth as in heaven. The Pythagoreans made each quarter of the cosmos complete and argued its completeness from the fact that 4, being the quaternary and equal to 10, made what they called the all-complete. They were apt to give extravagant terms to this number in an effort to express its perfection. For instance, they are quoted as comparing it to heaven, because in it all the digits are indrawn for a period of rest, swallowed up as it were in eternity, symbolized by the 0, while the one life stands beside it, ready to begin a new cycle of evolution in the 10. They also called number 10 eternity, which, having neither beginning nor end, is usually symbolized by the 0 alone. It was also called the sun, for just as the sun rises on a new day after a night of darkness, the new day bringing with it all the experiences and continuing the work of the previous day, so does number 10 begin for the soul a new outpouring of divine light, love, and power with which to accomplish in the new cycle. According to the Kabbalistic meaning of each number, we have a beautiful conception of the cycle of 10 and what it should mean in man's unfoldment. In number 1, which they call the crown, spirit descends into matter and offers to man a crown of life, but he can attain this crown only as he unfolds and manifests the qualities expressed in each of the digits as follows. 2 is called wisdom, 3 understanding, 4 mercy, 5 strength, 6 beauty, 7 victory, 8 splendor, 9 foundation. Therefore, only when we can express all these qualities can we complete number 10, called the kingdom. Another appellation given by some mystics to number 10 is the hand of God. This is explained by the fact that the great law manifests in 2 great divisions, positive and negative, referred to in this instance as the right hand and the left. The right hand represents the great law working toward perfection in perfect harmony and without opposition, while the left represents the shadow of the law working apparently in opposition to good, but in reality a servant of God, good, which through suffering is bringing ultimate good out of evil. This latter manifestation is termed by some the burnings of karma, by others the fires of hell. But in reality it is but the left hand of the great law bringing out of all disobedience, mistake, rebellion and selfishness lessons which shall ultimately bring to perfection and redeem all that is in both man and nature. From another viewpoint, the great law with its right hand pours forth all blessings and with its left corrects, adjusts, and teaches the best use of those blessings. Or with its right hand it sows the wheat and with the left pulls up the weeds. Also, while man needs 2 hands with 5 fingers on each to accomplish that which he designs, God, holding within himself the dual forces expressed by man and woman, needs but 1 hand, mighty of accomplishment, and represented with 10 fingers instead of 5. The same idea is expressed in many Hindu statues, which have 2 or more pairs of hands denoting powers. Plotinus taught that number 10 was the fountain of life, or the fountain of eternal nature, the stream of the one life forever flowing forth in 2 currents as it touched the earth. He also spoke of it as mundane, representing the world receiving from the divine the potencies and powers of the divine through the 9 digits. For instance, its 2 halves represent man and woman, 5 plus 5 equals 10, while nature, 4, with the Christ life, 6, pulsating through it, is represented by 4 plus 6 equals 10. The manifestation of the Trinity and perfection is represented by 3 plus 7 equals 10, while duality in its evolution toward equilibrium or balance is represented by 2 plus 8 equals 10. And finally, initiation attained through the power of the one life is expressed by 9 plus 1 equals 10. Number 10 was given to man as a covenant of strength, for if man was given will alone without the power to conquer, he would be but the shadow of God and not his image. As there are in man 5 fingers over against 5, so over them is established a covenant of strength, by word of mouth and by circumcision of the flesh. In the allegory of Abram and Sarai, when Abram was 99 years old, that is, when he had passed his great initiation, 99 equals 18 equals 9, and was ready to enter upon the new cycle of 10, the Lord, or the great law, said unto him, Walk before me, and be thou perfect. The 1 before the 0 equals the perfect 10. And I will make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thee exceedingly. That is, number 10, or the new cycle, is to bring forth a new progeny, is to multiply exceedingly, that is, by tens, and by it are all the nations of the earth to be blessed. Continuing the allegory, number 10 becomes the father of many nations or cycles of human evolution, each 10 starting a new cycle or nation and bringing it back to unity again. This covenant was ratified when Sarai bore him a son, when she was 90 and well stricken in years. That is, when she had passed through all the digits up to 9, she brought forth the one which completed the cycle of 10. More remarkable still, in the Hebrew, Sarai is written SRI and has a numerical value of 235 equals 10. In the Hebrew, SRI is the wife of Abram, and in the Hindu, SRI is the wife of Vishnu. In both cases, she is the personification of the feminine principle of the Godhead and is connected with water, gestation, and the moon. But she could not bring forth until the letter H or 5 had been added to her name, making it Sarah, and increasing it to 2,355 equals 15 equals 6. Thus Sarai, 10, had to be fructified by the Christ force, 6, ere she could bring forth and become the mother of mankind. This is corroborated by the fact that the letter H or He represents Heva, Eve, and the womb. H also represents a householder, the esoteric meaning of which is to bring forth. Therefore, both Abram and Sarai must gain the power of the letter H, or the power of Eve, ere they can multiply exceedingly and bring forth the children of Israel, or humanity. With the addition of the H, Abram becomes Abraham and Sarai becomes Sarah, thus completing the symbology of a true covenant between God and man, that is the 10 manifesting on earth as 2 fives, male and female, and bringing forth a son, the one in whom all mankind shall be blessed.